Mic check. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Am I coming through loud and clear? Looks like it. Ladies and gentlemen, we're just waiting for Mr. Matt to join us in the lounge. Give it a few minutes for people to roll in. And we'll be here for a little while anyhow. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we are joined by Mr. Matthew Luongo. Let me see if I can add him. There he is. Can you hear me now?
Hello, sir.
Loud and clear, eh?
Yeah, Papa Duck, I can hear you. How are you?
Excellent. I'm doing very, very well. It's been a little while, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
You've been off like birthing ducklings and hatching them and whatnot.
Yeah.
And we've been heads down. We're getting some features out.
Absolutely. We definitely have been. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are here now. Okay, so welcome. For those who don't know, I'm Low Poly Duck, the duck in the spandex human costume who's actually a tiny person controlled by a duck in a people suit. And today, I get the privilege of introducing you to Matt's Lounge. Okay? This is the show where our internal content gets leaked. Okay? Matt does a little chat. Duck wades in a kiddie pool with a whiskey, and occasionally a guest arrives to relax with us. Okay, welcome, Mr. Matt. How are you?
I am doing all right, Sir Duck.
Excellent.
So let's see, how leaky are we going to get here?
Only a little bit. Only as leaky as this originally was, and even a little bit less. I took out Yeah.
Okay.
So, guys, originally I wanted to call this show Mets Lounguo. Hey?
I think it's brilliant. I don't know if Twitter's ready for that.
That's right. There were some concerns that nobody would get it, so I'm putting it out in public here now. Okay, that not only is it clearly the superior name, but I am a genius. Okay, so we should just consider that. So
they learned their lesson, Doug.
That's right. Eventually they will. My friends in the audience, what can you expect from today? Okay, first and foremost, we're doing a little intro segment. Okay, this is the bit we're doing now, and you're doing great. Okay, proud of you. Following this, I'm going to press Mr. Matt for some personal information. Okay, gambling debt, shoe size, mother's maiden name, etc., etc. And
Sounds
after we
right.
say hello, yeah, I'm going to pull up the slideshow. It's the one you're seeing right here. We're going to chat about it a little bit, and then we'll be on to audience questions quicker than a beaver slaps your nan. Okay, so getting right into things. Mr. Matt, what was the name of your first childhood pet? Just kidding, of course. We're gonna start with the important stuff. As you said, okay, a lot of cool
Please.
things happened while I was out. Right, we saw swap
Yes.
pools, vaults, more BTC wallet support. It's been an eventful few weeks, almost assuredly. How are you feeling about it, and what feature are you most pumped about personally? Before we get into everything that's coming, what do you love?
Yeah. We're on the tail of enough liquidity that I can start actually making life choices with Mezzo, right? So, what am I pumped about? I'm pumped about the early stuff. It feels pretty cool to go out and do some commerce.
Yes.
I'm pumped about, you guys have heard this, so you're probably tired of hearing it, but refinancing my house, I'm just waiting for the liquidity. We're so close for me to be able to actually like yeet and move my family's entire well-being onto Mezzo.
That's good.
So I'm getting ready to do that. Let's see some other stuff. I don't know. I love like a sweet yield on USD, of course. Yeah. And things are coming together. I think the wormhole integration is a big deal. I think as we see the rest of our bridging go live, we're actually going to start to see some very cool stuff. Oh, are there TriCrypto pools on Curve? Hell yeah.
Yes.
I haven't looked at Curve yet. So beautiful. So
this is one of my favorite ones. I plan to get a cohort together to get those pools bribed up. We'll see what we can do in G6. So, my friends, on to the show then. Okay, welcome to the show, guys. This is a slideshow that was put together and presented internally by Matt here and some others. And I thought, why isn't the community seeing this? Matt also thought that. Okay, and so he pulled some strings and made sure this show was organized and we could get it out to you. Okay, so we're going to go through this pretty casually. I'll read off the bits. Matt will tell me about the bits. We'll move on after some chat. I'll be playing the part of the community member here, asking questions with the same implied level of prerequisite knowledge that I think you guys might have. Okay? Easy peasy. So, moving forward one slide, we're going to try and see if I can... How's this working? Did I move?
Oh, it's good. Yeah, it's great.
Excellent. All right, guys. So, evolving toward product market fit, all right? This is a little bit of a table of contents, all right? So first, we're going to hit where we are. We're going to touch on that very briefly.
Also, I just want to say, I don't know how to interact with the chat in here, and I'm trying to figure it out, but you have to come to the watering hole if you do want feed pics. So just prepare yourself for that. Anyway, sorry, I don't mean to take us down a rabbit hole. Back to you, Doug.
No, it's quite all right. There are actually a few ways that you can interact with the chat, and it's important that you bring this up. We're streaming now live on Twitter. We're streaming also live on YouTube. So you can head to both those places to get some. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Mr. DigiJoe is streaming this live in Mezzo, right? In the Discord.
Killer.
So that will be in there. So we'll be giving that as well. Oh,
love it.
Wait, there we are. Stream the show. There we go. So all three of these places, let me, Genobobs, drop some comments, drop some questions, and I'll be checking all three of them. Mr. Matt will be in there as he can when he's not talking to you. All right. So first and foremost, where we are, okay? So what we've done, what we've accomplished, a little bit of market outlook, okay? We're going to chat about the things that some of you think you know, but maybe you don't know in relation to Mezzo, okay? We're going to go over some winning strategies, briefly touch on the org evolution. I only left one slide of the org evolution. I only left one slide in here, Mr. Matt, just because it's, not really, no one's really impressed with that sort of thing. There's a lot of charts there, guys. You don't need to see the charts, okay?
Understood.
Yeah, we're going to do a TLDR and then we'll move right on. So, moving one slide forward. Oh, yeah, I got this. Where are we? What we've accomplished. Guys, MatsNet was huge. Mr. Matt, I can touch on this one a little bit, okay? We launched what is one of the most innovative points programs, I think, in DeFi history. We saw some of the coolest.
Doug, oh my gosh. Do you want me to run these slides? Listen, folks, obviously we're awesome. I agree. But part of what was important about this presentation we did it internally is we talk about what we haven't done.
Yes.
So
that's the next
tell us
slide.
what we've accomplished. I know. Tell us what we've accomplished, but you don't have to sell it too hard because I think we need to look internally. We need to figure out what we want to do better.
That's for sure.
And
And
please continue. Like 10% less duck sales.
Yeah. And everyone who's here with us sort of rode the roller coaster, so they know.
Yeah.
We also hit the mainnet launch, which was awesome. It was a lot of fun. We launched with 21 validators. For those who don't get the meme, look it up. We hit some real utility with gift cards. Not only Bitrefill, but we'll touch on it a little bit more on the last point there. And then we set some fabulous trends. Okay. This is something that, I mean, Matsnet did almost single-handedly. But when mainnet launched with MUSD in tow, followed by the Lolly acquisition, I think we've set the stage a little bit for what is sort of the full rails of the Bitcoin experience. Do you want to touch on Lolly before I move on here?
Yeah, of course. So let's see. So if you're not in the US, you might not know Lolly well. It's been really US focused so far. But it launched, I believe, originally in 2019. Alex Edelman and co-founders. And it's a Bitcoin-backed product. It's a Bitcoin rewards product. So the idea is that you can spend at big box stores and small stores online and your mobile app, and you can earn sats and stack sats. And that's cool because it turns out that's very similar and adjacent to a company that I ran for a while and founded, Fold, which recently went public on NASDAQ. So we saw this opportunity where it's like, okay, Fold is a public company. They have their own priorities. Lolly, there's a lot of opportunity to kind of try a repeat, but what if we did some things that were different? What if we made some different choices from what we did for Fold? So that was one part of our acquisition of Lolly, is like I saw an opportunity to take something that I knew how to do well and do it again and do it bigger. But the other thing I saw is, why in the world does anyone need a Bitcoin L2?
Right.
And I think a lot of you guys, if you've heard me talk about this before, it's like I don't know that they do. I think that most people don't really want to spend Bitcoin. Most people, right? Most people don't really want to send Bitcoin. Most people want to buy and hold Bitcoin. And so when I looked at all these Bitcoin L2s, I thought like, well, that's weird. We don't need Ethereum for Bitcoin. That's not my deal. I mean, if it works, great, fantastic. But like, why would you spend Bitcoin?
Right.
But then I also thought like, well, I really need to buy a house and I really need to buy groceries, right? So this is kind of what led to Mezzo. Right. I have this Bitcoin. I want to use it, but I don't want to use it. You know, that's a bit of a conundrum. Yeah. So the whole point of Mezzo and MUSD is to borrow against your Bitcoin and to build an economy around that. But then you have to ask yourself, well, how do you grow that economy? And it turns out that, well, not everyone wants Bitcoin, which I think is insane. A lot of people want Bitcoin. But almost everyone who doesn't want Bitcoin wants USD. And so there's this opportunity with Lolly for us to help people who are stacking sats stack more, use new tech, and actually make it a part of their life. Lolly has already made many people wealthy. So let's keep doing that. And I think the next thing we want to do is we want to help people understand, well, why would I ever use stablecoin in my life? Why would I borrow against my Bitcoin? So I see the acquisition of Lolly both as a chance for me to do something that I've done before that I think I can do much better second time around, but also something where we can build it into this ecosystem we're building, where Lolly is finding users, it's helping people save, and then it's helping people learn how can you leverage your savings? How can you move your whole life to save in Bitcoin, spend in USD? So that's the idea.
Awesome. And Mr. Matt is too humble, but there's another fun chapter in this story in that Lolly and Fold launched at very similar times. There was a time when there was something of competition with one another, and it's all come full circle, right? All roads lead back to Thesis.
It's certainly been nice. It's been nice to go from like admiring competitor to owner. I'm thrilled. And I think what you're going to see from Lolly in the next 4 to 6 weeks is you're going to see a new mobile app. You're going to see kind of a revamp on earning. And then you're going to see us to start to open it up internationally, because I think that a lot of OG US Bitcoiners, right? A lot of US Bitcoiners remember Lolly and remember Fold fondly, but they're not international companies yet. And so that's one of the opportunities we want to take with Lolly is what if we, from the ground up, built this thing to be a global company? So you're going to see that. Lolly Canada is very high on the list. It turns out Lolly Canada is way easier than all the other countries I'm working on right now.
Hey.
So that's one. Well, hey, RainPod, if you want BTC, Lolly is your place to earn it. And then the other thing you're going to see is you have all of these Bitcoin L2s who are trying to find product market fit.
Yes.
And they're looking for users. And they're looking for users who want to earn Bitcoin and do things with their Bitcoin. And that's something we have. So, I'm also looking forward to saying Lolly is where you go to earn Bitcoin Cash and, I don't know, maybe a little airdrop. Maybe you can earn some other stuff.
Fantastic. And speaking of some other stuff, what haven't we done yet? Okay. Where are we dragging?
So much.
Where are we headed? Yeah. So
much. So MUSD is still small. It's still small. It's still early. We need to start growing. We kind of went about this a different way. We focused on TVL a little bit before mainnet, but then after we really wanted to focus on, okay, let's make this experience good. So we haven't done this whole rent the TVL, shape the graph thing. It's starting to grow, but we want to see what the community does before we pour in too much gas. Product funnels. So, this is getting internal, guys, but I want you to hear it. It's very, historically, I've been a no data kind of guy ever since Fold. Fold was the last time I ran a company that really was, using data and working the way you'd expect. And, but we need to, we're trying to attract modern audiences. So we're way more focused on, do we have a funnel that works? Do we know what users want?
Right.
Our onboarding is okay. I want it to be the best. The core experience is okay. I think for DeFi users, we've got some weird. It's like the uncanny valley. We're trying to move from uncanny valley to a truly exceptional experience, right?
A really interesting way to put it. I've not heard that, but users, if you're listening, okay, let me know if you echo that sentiment. Okay, if using Mezzo feels a little bit like the uncanny valley, that's an interesting.
Yeah, cause it's I think over on one side we have food coins and our 2020 experience. And then we have and then on the other side, you start to get around the valley and you have Uniswap, and then you have CDFI stuff that actually works well. And we're in this spot where it's those eyes look wrong, Yeah. I think we just gotta fix it. And then finally, we haven't focused on app integrations. We're getting ready to crank that up quite a bit. So yeah, I think it's a beautiful interface, but we're stepping forward to it, going from this is pretty to oh shit, this is world class.
Yes, excellent. All right, so Lemons and Bobs, we hit the fun part. Okay, the market outlook. I particularly like this image here. If you aren't aware, my friends, one of the reasons why we push so hard to get things like this external is because the design team puts so much effort into these assets that otherwise, would live on a blog or two, and you might not see, but really tie the identity of Mezzo together. I love these. This is such a good, well put together presentation. So, Lemons and Bobs, the time is now. Why is it now? Mr. Matt, what the heck is a regulatory sandbox?
I've noticed this has been very, very lightly doctored from our internal, so I'll riff on what a regulatory sandbox is. Look, we have, actually, I'll leave my full thoughts on this well beyond the scope of this talk, which is, we have maybe 3 years to land not just full Bitcoin domination, but also private money.
Right.
We don't have that long. We have this window where we just need to, I know everyone's going, oh, number go up and this and that. I know. Yeah, guys, I get it. Everyone likes to make money, but we got to focus because this is our chance to launch something that is just really going to change how power works.
Yes.
Over decades. And this is our opportunity. And, you hear people joking about AI and I've got 6 months to get out of, to not be the permanent underclass, and everyone's worried about jobs. But then also we see ChatGPT 5 and it's kind of depressing. You have all of this discussion going on. But the thing that I'm raising is we have this regulatory little spot where it's okay, we need to land not just censorship resistant money everywhere, but we also need to land private money everywhere. and we've got about 3 years to do it. So I
The
think
gate-
the race is on.
The
It's
gate
on
has been
for all of
lifted,
us.
right?
Yeah.
But they only stuck a tin can in there to hold it up. So
Yes,
it's
and we can either pry it open or we're going to get wrecked. Yeah, so I feel like we really have to go fast, and we really have to take advantage right now of this opportunity we've been given. And I have all sorts of opinions on how we got there, but that doesn't matter. What matters is we have this moment, we need to take it. But continuing, right, stablecoins, if you look at adoption, most stablecoin adoption, it's not always happening. It's not necessarily quite happening where we thought it would.
That's right.
And but we're seeing it. So it's like, okay, we see Coinbase and Shopify over here, and we see Stripe's launching an L1 over here, and we see Stripe's stablecoin accounts. So we're seeing especially a whole bunch of 3 years to permit. We're seeing a whole bunch of like, okay, small and medium businesses who maybe couldn't justify having U.S. presence are now able to get this like global kind of services, and that's incredible. So I think on the SMB side we're seeing that, but there's another part of this which kind of goes into this institutional BTC momentum, which people don't talk about. People never talk about this, apparently, even in our own market signals. All of us, all of you guys, I would never do this. All of y'all who are on Silk Road are either retired or wearing a suit.
We would never do that.
Right.
Yeah.
And so all my friends who got in via Silk Road are retired or they're suits now. And that sounds kind of bad. Like the death of punk. Sure, okay, that's a little true. But it's also people are ready to buy homes. They're ready to have families. They're ready to live their life. They've had a long time preference. They've been holding Bitcoin. Maybe they've played with some other things, right? Well, now they're wealthy. And so there's also this opportunity here as we move from stablecoin adoption to this Bitcoin momentum is, well, there's a lot of buying power to unlock, right? There's a lot of buying power just sort of pent up in Bitcoin. And people can borrow easily. Now they have this opportunity. So I'm seeing that. I'm seeing quite a bit of people who like just I don't know. This is the part where I can't like name it, but we're just seeing banks who are perfectly like, oh, you want to do Bitcoin backed loans as part of mortgages? Yeah, sure. It's like, no problem. What? Yeah. You banned me like a year ago, and so I think that's huge, and we have to take advantage of it. Obviously, competition is always growing to get to the fourth point, but look, don't be afraid of Amazon or Google showing up. Who cares?
Oh yeah.
Like that just means we're winning. And then finally, we're seeing ICOs come back. Now, we're not seeing it widely yet, which is interesting. I thought what would happen is we'd see all these regulatory changes and then you'd have all these people being like, free money, right? But I think, frankly, meme coins inoculated retail. Fortunately and unfortunately, they slaughtered retail, but they also taught everyone a lesson. And so right now we have the beginnings of regulatory clarity, but we don't have retail excited. Instead, we have, public market. We have treasury companies. And so I think we're going to see ICOs come back in a way that's a lot safer and slower this time because of these market trends.
And not like pump fun.
I mean, let me put it the right way. I don't think the ICOs are all going to look like pump fun. I don't think that makes sense. That's a dynamic game. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not looking at the chart, but I don't know. We'll see how the pump fun ICO actually plays out, right? It might not. It might not be. I feel like some people were like, oh, death, and I don't know.
Yeah, I also don't know.
We've got a con here who's this is kind of my whole thing being in Bitcoin is you have Bitcoin rise against the money printer. And then almost half of Bitcoin's wealth generated then ends up becoming the money printer. Ends up becoming people's new projects and new tokens that are launched. So so in some ways, maybe it's a slow run. But in the other ways, if you're looking at this more optimistically, we just saw Figma incredibly underpriced for their IPO. We saw Circle incredibly underpriced for their IPO. We saw the same thing happen with Bullish. And so it's like, okay, well, clearly this like IPO model, while maybe it's coming back right now, it's also not quite, this is not a transparent situation. For those of us on Robinhood who are getting like our $30 allocation. So, so that's kind of my thought, I think, on all of this is, what I saw happen in 2017 was gross, but it seems like we're getting to the point where maybe there's an opportunity to see something that we can be a little bit more optimistic about.
Nice. Excellent. So move swiftly and with purpose. I like this. It feels like something Gandalf would say. Hey? The winning strategies. This is what you're all here for, my friends. What are we actually looking forward to in Q3? Okay? A few of the things, a few of the steps we're taking. Build excitement and momentum, okay, toward something. Not even going to say it out loud. With Matt.
Yeah, so a big misstep that I made was we went to mainnet, and the idea was to go to mainnet quietly and to build momentum, but we left our mats holders behind a little bit, and so we're fixing that. So we're reintroducing, or really just exposing our incentives a little bit better. You're seeing those flip on finally, but you're also going to see them get plugged into Lolly, to some other partners that will be announced shortly. And you're going to see them get a little bit more mobile and a little bit more fun. So yeah, we're gearing up for the token. We're gearing up for VE Mezzo. We're gearing up for people being able to run the chain themselves.
Mezgo. I'm very excited about some of the new Mats features. I don't know if I've shown you yet. We're going to have a Watering Hodl episode about it. But you know, Matscraft, earning mats in Minecraft. This is.
I love to see the little my face flying everywhere. It's
yeah. It's the best. There are some really good secret Easter eggs for those of you who want to explore the Matscraft server, which has gotten very large now. People have built some incredible things. They've built massive casino-style buildings. Have you built Tigris gauges in there? Oh, you want Tigris gauges? This is the question in the chat.
Yes.
That's not an idea.
No, it's not, and that's not at all. One of my favorite, other than Matscraft, of course, one of my favorite Minecraft mods was DevOps, where you looked at all your gauges in Minecraft, and of course, those are gauges on whether or not your site that's supporting millions of people are still alive. So they're not Tigris gauges, a little bit different. But I think, we'll talk Tigris and we'll talk gauges. Yeah,
let's go. Yeah, I'm very excited to see what comes of this. We'll have a Watering Hodl episode on the Mallard Labs game kit, I believe it's called now. This has become open source. You can integrate any game with an API right into your mats, which would be really cool. Moving on. Build a data-driven conversion machine for Bitcoiner onboarding. This is a mouthful. Tell me what this means.
It's a mouthful. It's not my copy. I like fewer words for left curvers like me.
Yeah.
What this means is we are trying to help Bitcoiners. Yeah, no, we want Bitcoiners to haven't gone on chain before, and so it's our job to start bringing them on. And so what you're going to see from us is
for the first time since fall.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, yeah, basically, what you're going to see is just a much higher focus on top of funnel, and you shouldn't have to use a wallet you don't understand. You shouldn't have to worry about the bridge. As I see over here, Amethyst, I'll make a comment in just a second there. And then the other thing is we just want to use data. So it's really easy to fly by the seat of your pants and be like, oh, well, we're doing DeFi and that means we shouldn't take data. But like, bro, how do you know if people actually want what you're building without it? So that's been a big focus.
Yeah, that's a big one, guys. And also, this is sort of a turning point in our entire industry, right? Where we're going from that freaky little punky subculture in the corner of the internet somewhere to a place that needs to be approachable for your NAM, right? And what makes that happen in traditional applications? User insight, okay? User data. So it's for the best. It's the future.
I mean, we're still very careful. We're not going to collect anything that's identifying, and then we have very short. Like that's insane. And then we have a very short retention window. So like that's the plan, is to crank that stuff up. No KYC. We're very careful with everything we take in. But I just want to know, like, do people understand what we're doing, and are they interested? And can we
and do they love it? Yeah, exactly. Here we are. This is a big one. Okay, Bootstrap MUSD with institutional volume. On one of the previous slides, this was posted as enviable metrics, I think was the actual copy we used. So what is this? What is enviable metrics?
Yeah. So what we're doing here is we're getting ready to start bringing on the big boys and start really working with partners who are going to help Bitcoin treasury companies, who are going to help people who are looking for access to their Bitcoin equity to make their Bitcoin useful and earn yield. So that's really the focus here. I think one of the things that we know.
Can we get a big boys in the chat? Big boys in the chat. Those are the big boys.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the idea here. Is it's time to get bigger, and I think that means going direct. I think if you saw what Babylon did, it was really instructive for me watching that, and it was kind of hard because I think we all kind of knew what we thought was going to happen, and it happened, unfortunately. But you saw that there's a whole bunch of demand for yield, but there's also, on the flip side, a whole bunch of demand for loans. And the thing that's different about us and something like Babylon is it turns out the only native yield you have on Bitcoin is lending. This has been this way forever. There's no staking in Bitcoin. We can all try to make it, but it's not real, right? But there's always been lending. And so I think we have this opportunity here. Yes, we are preparing the ground for the Michael Saylors of the world to come on in and to get some access to cheap money.
Incroyable. And finally, create a nerd wallet effect. I didn't know whether or not I should leak this yet because I saw the little TM on it. But
yeah, I don't know whether you should leak it either. Here we are, though.
Bold.
Yeah. Right no, I mean, I think for those of us who are just trying to live our lives off Bitcoin, we have people who are going out and paying their phone bills now using MUSD. We have
buying phones.
Homes. We have buying phones. Yes, we have another person who just bought his new phone on MUSD. We have groceries. We have all sorts of stories. We want to help Bitcoiners realize that they really don't need to go to an exchange and sell their sweet BTC just to live. Like that's right. That's not the goal. Like the Matrix meme, like when will I sell my Bitcoin? Well, you won't have to. You should never have to sell your Bitcoin. And so that's the idea here is we want to make it easy for Bitcoiners to do the smart thing, to do the smart financial move.
Excellent.
And small quack over there has obviously got some alpha. Acquire companies with MUSD.
Ooh. Wait, not a bad idea.
No, it's not a bad idea. I think it's a great idea. I think
sounds like
I imagine it'll be announced soon. Yeah, of course.
Finally, the org evolution. Okay, so what have we done to achieve this? All right, all thesis portfolio focus will be on growing Meso and the MUSD economy, and each of these PU's product units will have individual accountability. But what are these product units? Why these 5? What is this?
Yeah, so this is how we separate our work up on the Meso team. Our biggest focus has been credit. It's been, can I get access to MUSD against my Bitcoin? But obviously, well, if retail's not here, credit's focus needs to be a lot more institutional, and our economy focus is really what all of you guys who already know DeFi. That's what you're all about. So a lot of the work lately you're seeing finally land is economy work. It's pools. It's Salt BTC ICU, CBBTC ICU, T holders ICU. It's more of these pools, more of these ways to use native DeFi. It's our nice new gauge system that I'm excited to roll out. Commerce is about how do we actually help people use MUSD in the real world. Buying a house or buying a burrito. Exactly.
Yes.
And then integrations and incentives are the core. Let's get apps. Let's get mats into people's hands. These are very obvious stuff. Yeah. So really, economy integrations and incentives. I think that's what people are used to from a chain. Honestly, they're mostly used to integrations and incentives. We're focused on let's do a lot of this DeFi ourselves, give people a first party experience. Let's give people really easy ways to get MUSD, and then let's give them ways to use it.
Incredible. And each of these teams is individually led and forwarded and has their own goals and accountable for their own.
That's right. Yeah, and we tier those all into OKRs, and we have like our whole way of doing things. But it's really just been it's time to shift from finishing to growing.
Yes, absolutely. Excellent. All right, now we get to the fun part, guys. Are you ready? Too long, didn't read. You didn't care about anything we just said? That was way too much for you? We're going to break it down a little bit, okay? Right before we get to audience questions. And I've pulled a few of them here out of Discord and that. So I'm actually going to be out of the live chat for a minute or so while I get my question list all set up. Let me get here right into Discord, copy and paste. Number one, make Mezzo fun again. Your favorite slide, Matt. Matt didn't know this.
I just don't know how in this situation I ended up being the duck on the bottom. That's what I don't understand about this.
Do you see how yours is slightly lower resolution?
I do see that.
When it was originally done for me, I was the duck on the bottom. But then I asked the guy, I was like, why am I carrying Matt? Matt is supposed to be carrying me. And he was like, oh, yeah. And then we couldn't make it any higher resolution in time. So that's what ended up happening. You're carrying me.
Love it. Well, it's okay. I got to be a low poly duck as well. It's just a little granular, not as well planned. Yeah.
Yeah. So make Mezzo fun again. This is a little bit controversial wording, but what does this mean? How are we doing this?
I mean, it's what it sounds like. Look, we all know what we want in DeFi.
Yes.
Like, let's do it. So it's get users what they want, get it to them quickly, get that Salt BTC pool live, fun, easy, safe, profitable. It's very straightforward. It's a looping. It's the stuff we all know that we want here. But it's also enjoying ourselves. Like, if this is in our product, does it spark joy? And if not, dump it in the pile.
What's her name?
Yeah. Marie Kondo, yeah. We're Marie Kondoing Mezzo. It's a mix. You want this mix of like DeFi degeneracy with like this like cute Japanese like nope, does not spark joy kind of experience. So yeah, that's what we're going for here.
Mesri Konzo is what. Close enough. We almost nailed it, guys.
TM, yeah.
Find market fit, and I love this for this. Finding market fit, the little shoes. Oh my gosh! Mm-hmm. Somebody tell Gluesman he's a fucking genius. Excuse my language.
No, it's good. It's real good. It's real good. Yeah, I mean, find market fit is what it sounds like, right? So we're at the point where we're talking to banks who are interested in helping originate Bitcoin-backed loans. Yes. But the thing with market fit and DeFi is you have to have enough liquidity to get market fit in the first place. So that's kind of what we've been focused on. Liquidity is it's what allows it. It's like it's a step that you need. Yeah. So MUSD, Ubiquity, having enough liquidity that you can easily move in and out is the primary focus. But after that, it's okay. Well, where do you want to spend it? What do you really need here? Because I think, in theory, like fixed low rates against your Bitcoin has infinite demand. What do we need to do to unlock that?
Yes, that's one of our questions coming up, actually.
Perfect.
3, and it leads perfectly into this. Make MUSD a vehicle for capital formation, guys.
Yeah, so what do we have this question about acquiring companies with MUSD soon? Somebody's reading ahead in this doc here. Yeah, so look, an insight that we've had is, over the years, who wins? Right. Who wins the cycle? And one of the weird things that I've noticed, at least since I got in the space, but definitely since 2017, is the asset that wins the cycle is the asset that is used to form capital. So you had ICOs in 2017. Then you had NFTs. So Bitcoin should have won that one in 2021, but it did not last. That was ETH.
Yeah.
And then you see, okay, well, why did Sol go in such a run? Well, it was because it was the currency of meme coins. So all these sound different, but they're all capital formations. People wanting to put their money towards something, right? And I think we have this opportunity where, it's rarely Bitcoin, and it's not just Bitcoin because the network's not programmable. People like to say that. It's because people who are still holding their Bitcoin these days aren't stupid enough to sell for something that's not worthwhile.
That's right. That's not worth a Bitcoin.
Right? No, exactly. But what if you could borrow against it and use that to do your speculation? So that's the thought here is obviously this means digital asset companies. This means startups in the space. And of course, this means things like tokens and whatnot as well.
Excellent. So this is taking one more product from the banks and
that's the idea. Well, we were talking about IPOs being mispriced and not very transparent, right?
Yes. All right. So, Lemmies and Jenabobs, not throwing away our shot. I had to slip this one in here. Everyone at the org enjoys this as much as you are right now as a viewer. Let's fucking go on to the questions. My friends, I've got a few questions here. Mr. Matt, hopefully you can give us some answers to a few of these. I'm also going to be checking Discord live as they come. Okay. So we'll get there in a moment. I think we had some permission issues in Discord, but I still see folks chatting. Okay, excellent. So will we ever see an MUSD credit card? Ooh. What do you think?
I mean, yes, absolutely. I think, okay, so here's my whole thing on credit cards. You know, spinning up an MUSD backed debit card tomorrow is like, it's an API call.
Easy.
People have made it
Yeah.
easier and easier. Yeah. But spinning up a credit card where you can deposit BTC and then your credit limit is based on your Bitcoin and it pulls in USD as needed, that is exciting.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're working on retail credit. I'm especially focused first on home equity because I think that
Huge.
I just think that it's huge. I think it's a huge market. I think there's a lot of desire for it. I think I can name people who just on our team, we know so many people who want to do this. So that's the focus first. Exactly. Yeah. I think, a lot of people can, exactly. So MUSD credit card will come, but first, or rather, I guess a better way of putting this, a Bitcoin-backed credit card will come. But first, we want to give you guys deeper liquidity. We want to start enabling some of these real estate use cases, and then we'll expand
Real estate.
more consumer credit.
I love that because it's a big topical issue for people of our generation. Majority of who feel locked out of that market in ways that
it's crazy. And I mean, I think you've got a whole bunch of people who feel like they're locked in their current mortgages. You have a whole bunch of people who think they can't buy. Well, no, you don't need a home first, Rain. That's exactly the idea. So the thought is that we want people who have been holding Bitcoin to be able to access that equity and to just be able to walk in and you know, maybe they still get a mortgage for part of their purchase or maybe they don't. So this is going to be a mix of, we're going to be helping people do it. We're going to be sharing people's success stories, and it's also partnerships with lenders and real estate.
Yeah, and I want to touch on that comment really, really quickly. A lot of people seem to think if you have a bunch of crypto that out of nowhere you're a successful person in this world. Where I'm here to tell you guys that no matter what your situation is, up until a couple months ago, the bank still thought you were one of two things: a poor or a criminal. Okay, so it's not been super easy unless you are massively wealthy and you have enough that you can liquidate massive amounts.
Even if you're massively wealthy, it's like they expect a brokerage account and they expect all these things that it's like, well, the way that I made my money was by telling you to fuck off.
That's right.
And so how about I find a way to live the rest of my life that way too? So I mean, obviously, look, these people are going to find out over time, and they're going to find out that they need to do things our way. But in the meantime, like, we're building bridges to make it a little bit easier. I got to learn how to clean up my language the more and more of these stratified folks I talk to.
These is lounge.
So thank you. Good point. But I mean, like, look, I've been deplatformed. I've had lenders laugh me out of the room, tell me that they would accept Bitcoin only to mean that they would help me launder money, which is not what I was looking for. And then, you know, with this Fannie Mae news the other day, I have lenders calling me because they know me in my community and saying like, hey, how do I do this Bitcoin thing? I know you did something, and I'm explaining to them how I finance my house. And I'm like, you know what? I actually got a product for you. Let's have a call next week. So that's kind of where a lot of our work has gone lately.
Excellent. We got another one here. How long is 1% interest available on MUSD?
That's good. Until Morale improves. No, I think what we'll do with that 1% is we were going to leave it that way until definitely the bridge needs to be two-way. I know that's holding a lot of people back. So we'll leave it that way at least until the bridge. And then I think the question is, do we start adjusting the rate as a team early, or do we wait until, you know, the full VE Meza launch and folks can adjust it themselves, like as a community? So honestly, 1% feels too good to be true. So I think we might raise it just to fix that issue. So honestly, I guess here's the best answer. If you really want to lock that rate in, you should do it now. It's not something you should wait on, because when it's gone, it's going to be gone. And the cool thing about this credit line is once you open it, it is a fixed rate line. So the only time you have to refinance is if you're like, oh, I need way more credit. That's the only time you refinance. So I would really suggest if you're interested in keeping that rate, and if you have a big purchase that you want to make, do it. And if the liquidity is a constraint, talk to us, and we'll find someone and help you figure it out.
Yeah, go get that. Go get that now. Okay, TLDR there. Let's see what else we got here. More on Lolly, please. Can we build apps that reward our users with sats?
Oh, what a fantastic question. So here's what I've been thinking about. That is a really good question. Let me think about this for a second. So let me just give it to you guys really raw. What I think is very cool about a project like Lolly is that you're taking real world money and real world ways to earn. And then you're moving that into crypto. But then on the other side of the chasm, in like crypto native Web3 DeFi land, you have great projects. You have like Layer 3 and DBank and all of these different things where companies can pay users to do different things. And so there's this like interesting spot in the middle that I think we're discovering right now. So if you're an app dev and you want to see like rewards to your users and stats, I'm very interested in that because I think we want to bridge that gap. We want to see how can we help Bitcoiners find the right parts of the space. Maybe we won't dump them into like full DeFi, but we'll, slowly warm them up into like a nice safe space before we unleash them on the rest of the world.
Yeah,
exactly. And so, so if you're an app dev who's interested in working off of Lolly, please reach out. I would love ideas. We can do some pretty weird stuff. And and we'll get a little bit closer. I mean, my top focus with Lolly right now is just get users basically just a great new experience with as much stats as they can. And then after that, it's like, okay, now let's start merging all these ideas together. So,
excellent. That was a really good question. And yeah, feel free to ping us.
Great question.
On any platform where you can reach out to us. I'm going to paraphrase this one for the children in the audience. Where in the F is the mother effing withdrawal button on that GD mother effing vault, you BAMFers?
That was super polite. Thank you for that. So I'm so sorry. The withdrawal button is in Mesoscan. I feel terrible about it. I have very nearly vibe coded it myself at this point. Trust me though, you don't want me just like, I mean, I can code, but like maybe you don't want me just randomly adding buttons for you.
That's right. Yeah.
So expect something shortly. I know it's frustrating. Similarly, we need the two-way bridge live, and that's been like a much bigger focus of the team. So if you are interested in hitting withdraw, we'll just drop the link for you to do it straight in Mesoscan if you need to do that right now. And I mean, look, I vibe code plenty small, but like, just like you want me to do it in the right things. Yeah. So anyway, expect something soon with the withdrawal button. But in the meantime, you can still get your money out. Just ping us in Discord and we'll show you how to do it.
Yeah, give us a ping in Discord. We've got a pinned step-by-step walkthrough. Master Noda will also walk you through it. A few of us have done it in and out ourselves multiple times just to test.
I love this. Which Claude plan do you have question? Which Claude plan do you think I have? Come now.
We got another one here. It says, how much? Too much? Not enough?
Quanta Cuesta? That's a great question. I don't know that I'm the best person to answer, but a lot. It's going to be great.
Let's go. One here too. Partnerships with Fold? ?
That's the hope. That's the plan. That's the idea. So obviously, again, Fold is a public company. We're significant shareholders, but I'm not on the board anymore. So and of course, I would be doing my fiduciary duty for Fold first, rather than doing anything specifically for Meso. Disclaimer. So Fold's a public company. They want to be able to access credit against people's Bitcoin. They want to give people that power. So we're obviously keeping very close track, but I will not share anything that the public doesn't know. Again, it's a public company.
Yes.
So I can't really give you guys too much, but when you'll know.
Excellent, an excellent one. And guys, you can keep them coming if you want. We only have a couple more minutes left here. I do want to get us out just before the hour to be respectful of folks' times if they have to prep for an upcoming meeting or what have you. But Will we see fully featured BTC wallet support? If you want to follow up with what you mean by fully featured, feel free, but you can hit that as you will, Matt.
Yeah, so I'll hit it as I will. Man, we bit off a lot with this project. We did. And I think what's hard is, and this is almost a me problem, we're so like product focused that sometimes we forget to market things that are important and the things that took an incredible amount of effort. So I think to answer that BTC wallet question, we have the designs for full functionality for BTC wallets. We have some of the code, a lot of the code. And it's a huge personal labor of love of my CTO over here, of our tech leads, to see full Bitcoin wallet support.
Hi, Antonio.
And then maybe half of the team is similarly feeling as you are. So let me say this. The way that full support is going to roll out is going to be in pieces. So first, it's going to be just send, obviously. Why is it going to be sent? So that you can move wallets, so that you don't have to be worried about being stuck anywhere. There's a theme here that we need to end, right? You need to be able to hit withdraw. You need to be able to easily send. And so that's one, is you're going to see send. And the bigger kind of question we're having right now is the tech behind Bitcoin wallet support, honestly, is its own startup. And so one of the things we've considered is even fully spinning it out. So that's an open question. So I'm not going to leave you guys stuck for a lot longer. I know Solve BTC. I know about the withdraw button. I know about the two-way bridge. I know about the Bitcoin native wallets. I also know that when it comes time to do all of the spreadsheeting and to make sure that everyone gets what's theirs, you guys will all be near and dear to me in my heart as we finalize those numbers. So I do apologize. I know it's frustrating, and we're going to get it.
Let's go.
And excellent. If you have more detailed questions about Bitcoin wallets, hit me up and I'll get back to you in Discord.
Incroyable. Look, we have time for one more question here, Mr. Matt. When?
Oh, God. That was just a win, huh? That was just a win.
Final question. When?
I will say, yeah. We have some incredible partnerships that we're getting ready to announce. I told you guys that I think that ICOs are coming back. I told you guys about VE Mezzo. I guess there's some changes to VE Mezzo, and if you're interested in how those work, we'll talk on the watering hole. But yeah, I'll say before the end of the year, but probably a lot sooner than that. And get ready. Let's go.
Let's go. And that is all, folks. We did it. There's no better place to end it than that. Okay, guys, Mezzo, we're just getting started here. Okay, as Mr. Matt said.
Let me answer this one question. I got one more question. How much Bitcoin would you recommend people trust in there at this point? So here's the thing, Amethyst, to understand. It's a fantastic question. We are built on TBTC that is running with $750 million in Bitcoin. And it has been running without incident for 5 years. So I think this is right now the most battle-tested way to do fancy stuff with your Bitcoin. It's just been running longer. So as far as how much would I trust in a loan, go hard. I don't think there's a problem. The only place I suggest you be really conservative is just thinking about Bitcoin's ups and downs, right? Because if you take out a loan, obviously you don't want to leave yourself in a position where your hard-earned sats could be at risk. So stick with like nice, high, comfortable collateralization ratios, but get in there, lock in that 1%, and buy a house, get that car, do something for your family.
Hey, get in sooner too, right? Because as Bitcoin appreciates, you might never have to pay that loan back.
That's exactly right. This is at the expense of our marketing people killing me. This is buy now, pay never, y'all. This is an opportunity to take out a loan that you never have to service because Bitcoin's CAGR does what Bitcoin does. So get in there, lock in the rate.
No better place to end it. The final words there. Thank you so much for being with us on our first episode, guys. Stay tuned for more awesome updates and the date of the next episode of Mets Lounge-Duo.
Thanks as always, Doug. See you guys.
See you later, Matt.